Abu Dhabi. Wow. Hi, Americano. Welcome. Good morning. How is everybody feeling today? So this week our focus was on idioms, correct? And I taught you, I was supposed to teach you 15 idioms. Thank you, Hannah. I ended up only teaching you 13? 12. So I still owe you three more idioms. So today I'm going to teach you three more idioms for a total of 15 idioms. Good morning. So I will be teaching you the last three at the end after we review the 12 that I already taught you. And I just want to go over them, talk about their meaning, and how we use them in a sentence. Good morning, Zahara. So you can help me by liking this live and sharing it so more people can learn about common idioms in English. Idioms are a lot of fun. I really enjoy using them in language. But remember, an important thing that I taught you this week is we don't want to overuse them. So we don't want to say sentences filled with lots of them. We want to use them a little bit. And if you watched my video about my coffee that I drink every morning, and I used the example that if I pour too much sugar in my coffee, it's not going to taste very good. It will be too sweet. That's like an idiom. You don't want to use too many of them at the same time, or it just is too much. Hi, Kenmore. I'm really well, thank you. How are you this morning? It's afternoon for you, so good afternoon to you. So that's an important thing. I don't speak Russian. I would love to learn Russian. Juan is here, and I'm talking about coffee and drinking my delicious Colombian coffee thanks to Juan. And did you know that if you would really love to buy me a coffee, you can actually do that through our TikTok app? If you go to the TikTok app and you click on the link tree, you're going to see this appear. And at the very bottom, it says, buy me a coffee. You can actually buy me a coffee. And Juan, Juto56, has generously bought me several coffees. And so I really appreciate that. It's very kind. Yes, I only drink one coffee in the morning. Good morning, CBR. Nice to see you. I'm happy you're here. But that one coffee just wakes me up a little bit, and I really appreciate it. So if you would like to gift me a coffee anytime, I will say thank you. Please don't worry about giving me gifts here on TikTok. That's okay. You can help me by one, sharing the live so other people can know that we're live and learn about idioms. And two, if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, it's free. You can do it through the Fluency Focus TikTok. You just click on the same link. This will appear. And then you click on YouTube channel. You just go right there and subscribe for free. And the reason I really want you to subscribe to the YouTube channel for free is because as soon as I upload this live recording, you'll get a ding notification, and then you can watch the lives if you had to leave or if you want to watch it again. So it's a great way to be notified of anything I post. Good morning, Yeliana. It is nice to see you. Good evening for you. Yeliana and one of her students did a fabulous use of idioms, of food idioms. And I don't think I have a way of playing it for you, but it was excellent. And I was really happy to see that she took a risk and that she tried using several food idioms. Very well done. And we will talk about that in our group conversation class tomorrow. So I look forward to that. She also used some food idioms that I didn't teach you this week. So that was great that she took an even greater risk trying to use an idiom that she didn't know. or that I haven't taught you yet. So if we haven't met yet, my name is Maren. I am a native Canadian English speaker. I'm also an internationally certified teacher of English as an additional language. So I work with people on English full time. My focus is really on spoken English. I really enjoy speaking with people and helping boost your confidence in speaking English. And that's my focus. So currently I have one conversation group of, I believe, 4 or 5 people, and we meet every Sunday morning and we have conversations. And this really helps support and build people's confidence. And in the future, I would like to have more conversation groups, and soon I will have the option that you can contact us at Fluency Focused on our website, fluencyfocusedenglish.com, where you can tell me what your current level is and what time of day and what weekday or weekend day would be good for you. And I will create groups that might work well together for this. The groups will always have a maximum of 6 people, because it's very important for me that people have the opportunity to speak to each other. And so when we get bigger than 6 people, it gets hard to have a good conversation in my experience. And so we're working on that. And we have the one-on-one private English sessions. Those are for intermediate B1 level English speakers or higher who really want to boost their confidence in spoken English. And again, if you go to the website, you can access the information about the private one-on-one sessions. And those are also excellent for people who really want to focus in a certain area on conversation. So right now we have, I think, almost 100 people in the live, which is excellent. I see lots and lots of questions coming, and I can't answer them all in the live. However, you are always welcome to go to our website, fluencyfocusedenglish.com, and send me an email. I will always answer your emails, and it's the best way for me to answer your questions, because here on live, some of your questions require very detailed answers. So I can't really take the time. Yelena, thank you so much. Yelena is saying that she really likes the online sessions and that her students are happy. It was her idea to do the conversation sessions with her younger students, that some of them are in their teens. And I certainly welcome teenage or adult students to learn with me. I do have experience from teaching children up until people in their 70s. So I always welcome anyone who'd like to learn or improve their English conversation to work with me. I find it really, really enjoyable. And I often learn so much from you about where you live, about your culture, about your ideas, that it is, I think, equally as rewarding for me as hopefully it is for you. So this week we focused on common idioms. And if you were paying attention, you might have noticed I've only taught you 12. You are short, you're missing 3 idioms. So I will teach you those 3 idioms before the end of the live. So just remember, if I'm not answering your question, you can go to the website and leave me an email there. You can also, through the link tree that I showed you before on TikTok, at the very bottom, there's an envelope. If you click on that envelope, you can also leave me an email. So those are 2 ways that I promise I will get back to you and you will be able to have a response from me. So even if I can't help you, even if I don't have a class right now that's suitable for you, I will give you suggestions of how you can continue improving your English, because that's important to me. So now I'm going to test your memory. On Monday was the first day we started with idioms. Do you remember what those idioms were related to? My first three idioms that I gave you. Does anyone remember? Yeliana, you should remember because you did your video on them. What were they? Yes, good. Juan remembered. Sweet tooth. So the first three idioms that I did on Monday, I think I actually posted them on Tuesday, were food related idioms. Before I go through, welcome Hannah, and remind you their meaning and ask you if you remember, I just want to remind you some important things about idioms. First of all, we use idioms to make our language sound more like a native speaker, more creative, more fun, more playful. I really enjoy idioms. Honestly, I could spend my whole career just talking about idioms because they're so much fun. So it was difficult for me to choose 15 that I thought would be really helpful for you to know. So that's number one. Number two, when you're learning idioms, there are two parts you need to remember. The first part is you need to understand what they mean. And an idiom is a group of words that together, when you read them, don't make any sense. If you read it and you don't know the meaning, you will not understand. So that's what makes an idiom. So first you need to understand the meaning, but you also really need to understand when to use the idiom. So if you start saying idioms in the wrong context, in the wrong situation, it's not going to sound very fluent. So you want to really understand the meaning, but also when to use them. So let's look at our first three idioms. Our first three idioms were food related. And Juan, you're right. The first one was sweet tooth. Now I'm going to try something and see if it will work. I did make little slides so that you could see, but I'm not sure if it's going to work. So I have a backup way in case that way didn't work. So let me try this way because I want you to have the visual of what the words, what the idiom looks like while I'm talking about it. So let's see. What I'd really like to do is change the background that I have now to okay, I think I figured it out. All right, here we go. Okay, wonderful. So, idiom number one is about food. Okay, what does sweet tooth mean? Does anyone remember? Sweet tooth. So, you know what sweet is, something that tastes really good, and you know what a tooth is. So, what is a sweet tooth? I have a sweet tooth, and in the video I made, I told you about that. Exactly, very good. So Yelena says, you are into sweet things. Yes, someone with a sweet tooth loves sweet things. So for example, I have a sweet tooth. I love eating desserts. Exactly, likes to eat sweet tooth. So this is what we call, what we say to someone who likes sweet things. Okay? You don't use it to say, I'm trying to think of an example where it wouldn't be appropriate. Because you could go to the dentist and you could say, I have a sweet tooth. I wouldn't say it to the dentist because then they're going to think maybe you have, thanks, Con, some problems with your teeth. But sweet tooth is when you really like sweet things. Sweet tooth. Okay, the second food related idiom that I gave you was, and let's switch it over. Let me see if I can remember, to effects, and it is, it's very small, so just give me a moment to find it. Okay, there. A piece of cake. A piece of cake. When someone says it was a piece of cake, what do they mean? Watch out, one piece in your spelling of peace, because that kind of peace is about prayer and religion. This kind of piece of cake is a slice. Exactly, Alisa. Easy. So if you, without difficulties, exactly. If you take a test, if you do your IELTS and you come out of your IELTS and people say, how was it? Was it okay? You say, oh, it was a piece of cake. It was so easy. I've never heard anyone say that before about an IELTS test, but this is what it means, a piece of cake. So we wouldn't want to go to the restaurant and say, I want a piece of cake because it's so easy. It's the wrong context. Even though it's about a piece of cake, which is food, it doesn't belong in a conversation about food. Exactly. It's not rocket science, Hannah. And that's one of the other idioms that we are going to look at this week. So you are ahead of us. Very good. So that was our second, a piece of cake. A piece of cake. And the next one is a little bit harder. This is one that I know Yelena tried doing in her dialogue. And this one is food for thought. I think, Juan, you also used it. Food for thought. Food for thought. So food can't think. So this is an example of a typical idiom. You can't guess the meaning because it doesn't make any sense. So we have to know the meaning. Does anyone remember what food for thought means? Exactly, Manasa. Perfect. Something to consider. So when someone gives you food for thought, they're giving you information that you need to consider. You may or may not agree with it, but you're thinking about it. Excellent. To think over. Exactly. Beautiful. Very good. Okay, so those were our Monday food idioms. On Tuesday, we decided, or I decided, to give you some, if you want to screenshot them, you can. Remember, I will post the recording of this live, and it will be available probably by tonight or tomorrow morning on YouTube. So that's a great reason to subscribe to our YouTube channel for free, and you'll get a notification as soon as it's available. So I could say, food for thought, why don't you go subscribe to the YouTube channel right now? And if you do, I will get a notification and I will give you a shout out and announce that you just subscribed for free. Consider something. Perfect, Marco. Yes, very good. Okay, so the next set of idioms, the next three, were I called feelings and health related idioms. So the first one that I gave you is this one. Just give me a moment, please. Okay, I should have chosen a different color because this green is a little bit difficult to see, but I didn't. So, food for thought. Next time, maybe I should choose a different color. Under the weather. What does under the weather mean? To feel bad, exactly. You know all of them. So, when you feel under the weather, I'm not talking about a really serious illness if you have cancer or you're dying. I mean, if you have a cold or a headache, you just feel so, okay? So I called in sick to work today. I was feeling under the weather, just not great. Under the weather. And if you didn't know the meaning of this idiom, you wouldn't know. Right, right, Nazumi, yes. To feel bad, but not terrible. So just so. Could you give an example, please? So another example would be I was feeling under the weather, so I canceled my dinner plans. I didn't go out to dinner with my friends because I was feeling under the weather. This is under the weather. Okay, now the opposite. Here's an opposite idiom that I'm going to give you. This one is this. Does anyone remember? On top of the world. Does anyone remember what it means? On top of the world. This is a really great idiom. If you feel amazing, if you're so happy, if something really great happens to you, you feel like you're on top of the world. So even though it's an idiom, if you imagine your body at the top of the world, exactly, Yasser, extremely happy. Over the moon is almost the same meaning, perfect. And that is another idiom, Yara. So on top of the world is really positive, really happy. It's not for just a little bit happy, like you're having a good day. It would be something extreme. Like if I get 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, I will be on top of the world because then I can go live on YouTube and our lives will be a lot more exciting because I can do more, I can screen share, and I really will be on top of the world. So I will show you what my on top of the world looks like when we get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So help me with that. Oh, well, I'm so happy. Oh, that's so nice, Yelena. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoy them that much. Thank you. All right, you'll work on it. Great. Thank you. And remember, it is totally free to subscribe on YouTube. It's really easy to do. All you need to do right here on TikTok is go to the link tree. So here's the TikTok that we're on. Click on the link tree, and then you're going to see this pop up. And the first one is YouTube. Go to the YouTube channel. Just takes a second. Here's the YouTube channel. And then it will ask you if you want to subscribe. Totally free. And what's so cool about that is you will get a notification as soon as I post the recordings of the live. You'll get a notification if I post a new video or a short. So it's free. I want to see the notifications now of you going to do that because then I'll know we're getting closer to 1,000 and I'll be on top of the world. Excuse me, maybe I'm going to be under the weather soon. My voice is going really strange. All right. So that was on top of the world. And now a little bit of a negative one. Let's go to it. So remember, we're talking about feelings and health. And this one is, let's see, drives me nuts. When something drives me nuts, it means it's really, really irritating. It bothers you, it frustrates you. It can be a thing or a person, okay? So you could say, I think the example I gave in our weekly videos is, it drives me nuts, nuts. It makes me crazy when people talk on their cell phone and they're driving. It's strong. It's not just a little light idiom. You're really frustrated and really angry. So I'd love to hear an example of something that drives you nuts. What drives you nuts? What's something that really bothers you, that really makes you upset? What? Give me some examples. For the most part, there aren't a lot of things that drive me nuts, but that is one thing that drives me nuts, is people talking on their cell phone. and driving because it's very dangerous. So that scares me a lot. And it could hurt other people. So what's something that drives you nuts? What's something that drives you? Ah, good one. Very, very, very good one, Yelena. When someone is interrupting you, this is very frustrating. It's rude. Um, in some cultures, it's less rude. For sure, in North America, it's considered rude. Good one, Amara, when someone's eating with their mouth open. So some people, it doesn't offend or upset a lot, but some people, my mom, it makes her feel like she's going to throw up if she sees someone doing that. So it drives her nuts. Um, uh, Something that makes you miss an appointment, that drives you nuts. Okay, so something maybe that you didn't, it wasn't your fault that you missed the appointment. That could be very upsetting. Going to a movie and people are talking or on their phone while you're trying to watch a movie, that drives me nuts. Any other examples of what drives you nuts? Remember, you can always comment right in my TikTok videos. You can write what drives you nuts, or you could post a video reply. The tapping her keyboard with sound, yes, that can be really annoying. So, Hannah, do you mean like if you're on a live with someone and you hear the tapping noise? Maybe on a Zoom conversation? That noise can be very irritating. That could drive you nuts. And this is a personal thing. So what drives me nuts could be different than what drives you nuts. We're all different. And so different things irritate us and drive us nuts. All right, so that was our day of feelings and health. The next day we talked about friendship, and friendship is so important. And these three idioms are excellent idioms you can use related to friendship. So the first one was through thick and thin. When someone's saying bad words, yes, Gitano, for sure. Thick and thin, through thick and thin. So let me find it. Does anyone remember what through thick and thin means? Thick and thin. Through thick and thin. So this is talking about a relationship with someone that you care about, and it's positive. It's usually with someone you've been in a relationship for a very long time. So a close friend or a family member. I've been best friends with my best friend since I was 10 years old. We've been through thick and thin together. We've been through good times and bad times, but we're still close friends. This is thick and thin. Maybe a married couple who have been married for 20 years. We've been through thick and thin together. But again, it's positive on the end. In most cases, you're still together, you're still friends. Through thick, bad stuff, and thin, good stuff. Through thick and thin. Okay? Through thick and thin. Remember, you can go back to any of the videos from this week or any time and post a video reply practicing a sentence with any of these idioms. And if you're not sure how to do that, I do have a posted video on the TikTok account that will explain step by step how to do a video reply. And also, if you're not comfortable showing your face, that's okay too. You can show me a picture of your house. You can show me a picture of your pet. It doesn't matter. I want to hear you speaking, and that's what's important. Second friendship idiom, close knit. Close knit. Do you remember what that means? Does anybody know how to knit? I've tried to learn when I was younger, but it's not a hobby that I use very much right now. Close knit. So close knit means tight, tightly together, close knit. So we use exactly, beautifully expressed, Yeliana. You should be teaching with me. Closely connected. That's exactly what close knit means. So we usually use close knit for a close knit friendship group, close knit family. So I think the example that I gave you was that I come from a close knit family and we try to spend our holidays together. So this is close knit, as opposed to, I guess, the opposite of a close knit family might be a family that is not very connected or not close. Okay, this is close knit. And the last one for this group is to hit it off. Let me find it in the list. Again, using this color makes it hard. To hit it off. And usually you hit it off with someone. Okay? To hit it off. So you hear the word hit. I don't mean to hit anything. To hit it off means you get along with someone really well, usually when you first meet them. You get along well. So I think I gave you good relations. Yes. So when I first met you, Yelena, you and I hit it off really well, I think. We got along really well. It was an instant connection. So it's positive when you hit it off with someone. I started a new job and I really liked my boss. She was really nice. We really hit it off. So it's positive and it's about relationships. So it can be a new coworker, a new boss, a new person you meet in your life. It doesn't have to be work related, but it's positive and it means you got along really well. Okay, so that's to hit it off. And those are our three friendship related idioms. On Thursday, I went into, yes, it is a phrasal verb as well. Thursday, I went into some studying idioms because many people are going back to school soon in September or have started if you're in the United States. So I thought I would give you three study related idioms. And the first one, and probably one of the most popular idioms in the English language, I think, is this one. Can anyone tell me what it means? Break a leg. Break a leg. Break a leg. Exactly. Good luck. That's exactly what it means. And so, again, this is an example. Good, Hannah. If you don't know idioms and someone said to you, oh, break a leg, you would think, good sorrow, you would think they were really mean. And why would someone want you to break your leg? So, yes, break a leg is good luck. It's very, very commonly used in English to wish people luck, good luck on a test, good luck on an interview, good luck on an exam. Anytime that you would want to wish someone luck, we can say break a leg. Very good. I'll move over because some people are asking to see the words. Sorry, when I planned this, I didn't space it well, unless I slink down in a chair, which I don't really want to do. Okay, next one has the word hit in it as well, but has a different meaning. So let's see if I can find it. Okay. Hit the books. Hit the books. So again, if you didn't know this idiom and you just said hit the books, someone might think you meant to hit your books, which is definitely not a good idea, and it's not what it means. Hitting books is really not a nice thing to ever do. Hannah, you're right. It's about going to study. It's time to focus on your work. And so this is an expression that a parent might say to a child. They might use this idiom and say, it's 9 o'clock, you better hit the books before it gets too late. You could use the expression yourself. You could say, I have a test tomorrow. Sorry, I'll see you later. I'm going to hit the books. Exactly. Oh, good, Sorrow. It's good to learn new idioms. So, hit the books. Remember, this is being recorded, so if you subscribe for free to the YouTube channel, you'll be notified when it is uploaded, and then you can pause and look at the idioms. They're also the same idioms that I went over on TikTok this week. Hit the books. And somebody actually told us this idiom already in the live. Let me see where it is. I know that I did them all. I think I did. Here it is. It's not rocket science. It's not rocket science. What does it mean? Yes, I am a native English speaker. It's not rocket science. Easy. Just means it's easy. It means it's not complicated. It's not difficult. Yes, you said it earlier, Hannah. Exactly. It's not too difficult. So if somebody says to you, I'm not sure if you've heard of the company of IKEA. IKEA is a Swedish company, and you have to put together the furniture. It comes in a box, and you have to follow the instructions. And so if I give you the instructions and I say, here, you have to put it together, and I say, don't worry, it's not rocket science. It's easy to put together, which isn't always true with IKEA furniture. It can be very stressful, but for some people, it's not rocket science. And I noticed easy peasy lemon squeezy. Exactly. That's another great expression. Somebody commented that even rocket science is easy on the post for this. And I would like to disagree. I've never studied rocket science, but I think that it would require a lot of intelligence and a lot of time to actually understand how rocket science works. Music to my ears. Yes, this is a correct idiom. Music to my ears. Yes, and music to my ears means that it's something that sounds great, that makes you happy. That's music to my ears. Very nice. Thank you, Dadu. Thank you. And right, in many of these cases, these English idioms, you have a similar idiom with a similar meaning in your own language. Idioms are not only for English, they're for every language. It's just a beautiful way to make your language sound more interesting, more like a native speaker. Remember, when we're using these idioms, we don't want to use 10 idioms in one conversation. We want to pick one or two that really match the situation and use them. And that's an important thing to remember, because you can memorize hundreds of idioms, but if you don't know how to use them properly in the right setting, and you just start saying them, you're not going to sound like a native English speaker. So you just want to use one or two in one conversation. And that is important to remember. And remember to practice them a lot before you use them. Because if you're not really comfortable using them, you may not use them in the right situation, and then you may feel uncomfortable. To zip one's lips. Yeah, zip one's lips is to be quiet. Excellent. Okay, so we have gone through all 12 idioms quickly because we only have an hour. And so now what I wanted to do is go through 3 personality related idioms, because personality is a topic that comes up in almost every conversation. So I wanted to give you 3 positive idioms that you can use to describe maybe yourself or maybe someone you know. And the first one is probably an idiom that you have heard before. So I'm going to put it up here. Down to earth. If you hear somebody described as being down to earth, down to earth, it means they're very easygoing, they're calm, they're laid back, they're very even. So someone who's down to earth is hi Jamala, welcome. It is a nice person that you would want to spend time with. They're not irritating, they're not loud, they're not obnoxious. They're very calm. They're down to earth. Okay? Next one. A social butterfly. A social, you know what someone who's social is, and you know what a butterfly is. How does a butterfly move? Ah, thank you. Oh, that's very kind to say. I try to be down to earth. I'm not always down to earth. You can ask my husband in the other room and he would laugh if you said that my personality was down to earth, but sometimes. So now we're looking at social butterfly. So a social person, social, they like talking, they like engaging with other people, and a butterfly flies all over the place. So a social butterfly is someone who is extremely, yes, beautiful, Hannah, an extrovert. This is someone who is always another expression, the life of the party. They want to know what's going on. They're talking to everybody. And this can be positive or negative depending on your personality. For me, I'm more introverted. I don't want to be socializing all the time. So someone who's a social butterfly and is like, Maren, there's a party here, and Maren, I'm like, okay, enough. It's too much for me. But people who are very social, like a social butterfly, because yes, they're friendly, but yeah, a chatterbox, but they know what's going on. So they know about when the next party is. They know you're a diehard introvert. Yes, me too. People think I'm extroverted, but I'm really not. I'm not. Big social events are not my idea of a good time, but everybody is different. But I love that you're a die-hard introvert. And so die-hard introvert, die-hard is a little bit of an idiom in that we might not know exactly what that means. It doesn't mean that Manasa wants to die. It just means that Manasa is very happy being introverted. And there's nothing wrong with being introverted, extroverted, or in between. It just helps us understand ourselves and other people. So, a social butterfly is a chatterbox, but it's more because there's someone who knows what's going on. So they know when the parties are, they know the latest bar or club that is has opened, they know the cool places to go. That's a social butterfly. So not only are they talkative chatterbox, but they also know what's going on. That's a social butterfly. And then our 15th idiom for this week is a positive. And it's this: a good egg. So, a good egg is the way to describe someone who is responsible, loyal, caring, earns a good income, definitely a positive person. It's not negative at all. It's the kind of person you would want your child to marry, for example, because they are even. It's kind of like down to earth. Um, I think a good egg is a little bit more solid. I can post this in Instagram too, sure. I usually upload all the TikToks I do each day onto Instagram so you can watch them there too. But also remember, if you follow on YouTube, subscribe for free, you will get a notification and you can watch this. Ah, Jatano, you're a good egg. The thing about a good egg is someone else has to tell you that. You can't call yourself a good egg. You can, but really a true good egg, someone else says he's a really good egg. And it often is related to dating or employment, someone who's trustworthy, someone who you can depend on, exactly, dependable. So you can say you're a good egg, but I could use the idiom, the proof is in the pudding, which means you'd have to prove it. You know, you can call yourself anything, but you have to prove if you really are a good person, because you can say anything about. Yes, we can say a bad egg. That's true. I was trying to stay on the positive, but you are absolutely right. There is the opposite, a bad egg. And if you're a bad egg, you're bad, bad, bad. It's not a compliment. It's you get into trouble. You are not somebody that you want anyone you know to talk to. Yes, bad egg. Very good. Very good. If you look online, there are thousands and thousands of idioms. I really think I could spend my whole life talking about English idioms. Um, there are so many, and it was difficult for me to choose these 15 because, oh, Carlos, that is kind. Thank you. That's very kind. Um, these are the 15 I thought that would be the most useful for you to learn right now. But remember, so we can only mention about the other person we talk about good egg. Well, when we talk about ourselves, we don't usually compliment ourselves. We usually try to compliment someone else, if that makes sense. Because if you give yourself a compliment, if I say I'm an amazing teacher, then you can say okay. But if someone else says it, it gives it more credibility. It makes it more true. That's why you can't get the down to earth. Okay, so down to earth just means someone who's very easygoing, Amara. I appear down to earth. I don't get upset easily. I'm calm. This is down to earth. Does that help, Amara? Let me know. We do have time to go over any of the idioms that you're not sure of or any questions that you might have. I haven't decided for sure what our topic for next week will be. So if you have any requests or suggestions, now is a great time. Okay, great. I'm glad that you understand it. Good. Put it back to this one here. You do? Okay. Okay. And it's okay if you don't understand. Most sources will suggest that you try learning one idiom a day. When you try to learn more than one idiom a day, it will make it very difficult for you to understand the meaning and to be able to use it properly. So if you pick a topic that interests you, and just choose one a day, that will really help you. It will also really help you if you practice the sentence that I've given as an example in the videos from this week. If you repeat those sentences and then try to make your own, are all good ways to practice idioms. But they're really, really fun. So Hannah, I go live at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturdays. Phrasal verbs. I mean, okay, there's a lot of those, and we can talk about that tomorrow. Phrasal verbs. I will make a note of that. I do take note of all the suggestions that you have. the word complain, how to use the word complain. So complain is when you're not happy about a situation or a person. Um, so you could say if you were out for dinner and you didn't like your food, you could ask the waiter and you could say, "Excuse me, I'd like to complain about the food." You'd like to say negative things about the food. You were not satisfied. I'm all ears. And people don't easily get it because that's the thing with using idioms is you need to use them around people who would understand them, or there's no point in using them. And so the goal is to try speaking with native English speakers because you know they will understand idioms. But that's a good point. If you use idioms and you're speaking with people who don't understand them, that would be frustrating because they won't understand. So the goal is to try to talk more like a native speaker and have more conversations with native speakers. And idioms just add a little bit of flavor, a little bit of interest to your language. So we use them in conversation and in writing. Um, and that helps us sound more like a native speaker. Good afternoon from Romania. If you are studying for IELTS or another standardized test, idioms will really help boost your score because it shows that you have a deeper understanding of how to use language. Don't cry over spilt milk is a great idiom. I love milk. I drink milk a lot. Have you heard this idiom? Don't cry over spilt milk. So if you have a glass of milk and it spills on the floor, you might cry. So the idiom just means don't cry, don't be upset over simple things that aren't really important. And it's a great idiom. Thank you for sharing. Don't cry over spilt milk. If you want to know your English level, there are a lot of free tests that you can take online. If you do a Google search, you can just type in test my English level, and usually you just have to enter, you're welcome, Amara. You just need to enter your email and they will send you their results for free. And it is a very helpful way. Can you speak English online with me? I do offer one-on-one private sessions for speaking English conversation for intermediate level English speakers, and you can visit the website at fluencyfocusedenglish.com for more information about that. We're also working on more conversation groups that would be online with a small group of people where we have conversation to just boost your confidence in speaking English. The important part is to put people together at a similar level because you don't want to be in a group with someone whose English is far, far more advanced than yours. And you don't want to be in a group, oh, thanks. Thanks, Juan. You don't want to be in a group where people are having trouble communicating with you and then it's frustrating. So these are programs that I'm working on, and I will definitely talk about them northeast of Mexico. Nice, very nice. I've been to Mexico many times. It's beautiful there. Hi, Zina. So lots of possible programs in the future, but again, I need you to subscribe for free to YouTube so we can build that channel. And on that channel, we can make our lives even more exciting because then I can screen share and I can be typing things. And oh, that is so nice. Oh, Manasa, what a compliment. Thank you. I appreciate that. I hope that you are all enjoying this time with me. After our live, I will download it and then upload it to the YouTube channel. So remember, the biggest way that you can help us grow and get more people for conversation groups is to follow, subscribe for free on YouTube. And I'm just going to remind you one more time how to do that right from TikTok, because it's so easy and it's free. So you want to go to the link tree, click the link tree. This is going to open and you're going to click YouTube channel right here, right there, YouTube channel. It's going to go to the YouTube channel and it's going to ask if you want to subscribe. And it's free. It does not cost you any money. So right now on the YouTube channel, it looks a little bit like this. So I've uploaded some shorts and I've also uploaded all of our last lives. So I think we have 3, 4, I think there are 3 or 4 lives that are there and available for you to watch. Which can be really helpful because you can pause and stop. So I really, really recommend following for free on YouTube. If you're interested in private lessons, remember I work with intermediate level people. Yes, Zena, and the link for everything is right directly through YouTube. So if you get to the link tree, there's YouTube channel, the website's there, the TikTok, I think that is the Instagram, I believe it is. And then the buy me a coffee. So I'm just going to remind you one more time. I do drink 1 coffee every morning, and you are welcome to treat me to a coffee if you like. You can do all that through the linked tree on TikTok, and that would be a really thoughtful thing you can do for me if you want. You don't have to. Any other quick questions before we go for the day? So I will get working on this right away. It takes a little bit of time after a live. Oh, thank you very much. It takes some time after the live for TikTok to get the recording ready for me to download and then send over to YouTube. So again, if you subscribe, you'll get the notification when it is up, but just think maybe later today or tomorrow is when you can watch this live recording. Thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you all for taking the time on the weekend. I'm from London, Ontario, Canada. So I am near Toronto. I'm about 2 hours away, 2 hours west of Toronto. I grew up in Toronto, and when I was about 20 years old, I moved out of Toronto because I wanted to live somewhere a little smaller. Less people, less traffic, less chaos, and I'm very happy with my home here in London. Nice to meet you too. Thank you. Thank you all again. I really do appreciate that you're all here. I know it's a choice to be here, and there are lots of things and responsibilities on people's weekends to do. So thank you. Last chance for questions. Remember, you can always get me through the website, fluencyfocusenglish.com. Thank you. All right. I am going to go. Thank you. Remember, you can keep practicing these idioms and you can leave video replies whenever you want. Thank you. You are an English language teacher. Great. I don't assess people's English language levels here. We'll do serendipity tomorrow. I'm going to make